To start our Paul Klee cat, we are going to add a border to our paper. So we want to draw, we can go pretty slow if we need to, with our black crayon. We're going to draw a line that is right along the edge of our paper. And we're going to try and keep it the same distance from the edge of the paper all the way around, okay? Sometimes our hands work better from right to left or left to right, or maybe they work better drawing up and down. So you can certainly turn your paper so that your hand is always making that same direction if it's easier for you, okay? Now we have made our line away from the edge of our paper. Now we're going to give ourselves a little bit of a width so it's going to look almost like a picture frame. So this is our border around our drawing. So I'm going to carefully, I don't have to go fast. I want to go pretty slow actually so that my line stays the same distance. So if I put my thumbprint could fit in that space all the way around. So my line, sometimes my hand works better from right to left, so I'm going to start over here and draw that line. And I can go pretty slow so that I know my width is pretty even. All right, now we're ready for our cat. Okay, our first line. Okay, I want you guys to sort of guide your eye and think about where the center of your paper might be, the middle, from side to side. So I'm going to think, my eyes think about right here. I'm going to draw a very ever so light dot. You might not even be able to see it on your paper. on the video. But I'm going to do that, and that's going to guide my line. I'm going to jump away from my sideline here and pull my line down, down, down. And when I get to about right here, I want to start to curve it. And I want to come up with my line, curve up and meet that sort of kind of point spot that I gave myself. Now we're going to do that on the other side as well. So we're kind of making a letter W. You can think of it that way too. So I'm going to start curving my line, curve, 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 up, and meet. All right, so I have two lines that curve and meet here. Now, what I want to do is draw from, let's give our little cat sort of a fun nose. We're going to draw a heart-shaped nose. Let's do that. Heart-shaped nose. Sort of bigger than your thumb, a little bit bigger than your thumb. So we're going to help guide our size. Sometimes it helps with our hands. I say sometimes for you guys to put your hand on your paper and draw around your hand. So that helps our eyes get a good size. So now we're going to come up. I'm going to jump way up here and give myself a little dot. So I'm going to maybe measure with my finger. And so it's the length of my finger. Now I'm going to come down to the edge of one side of my heart, down to the other side of my heart. Now we get to draw these really big, fun eyes. So we are going to come from this sort of triangle shape that we made on the center of his face, I'm going to come a happy face all the way to the side we drew earlier. And a rainbow line to finish that. Okay, now I'm going to go to the other side and do the same thing. I'm going to try and keep it even. Little curve down, happy face line, and curve the other way, rainbow line. Now we need to give our kitty cat some eyeballs. So we can make these really big, awesome lines that curve a little bit and are running vertically. Okay. Now we need to give our kitty cat some ears. So this line up here is going to come all the way up and over to the top of that little nose spot. So you could draw it from the nose up or from the ear down, whichever way is more comfortable for you. So we want to make that line curve. I'm going to draw mine up just a little bit to give him more ear space. And down. Now, let's give our kitty cat this little spot down here for his mouth. Curved line at the bottom. And whiskers! How many whiskers will your cat have? Paul Klee put 3 on each side, and they started at the nose. So our whisker lines, we don't want to draw too fast because we want some really great long whisker lines that come out from his nose and down. And we're going to come over to the other side and do the same thing. 1, 2, 3. All right, now we need to add our bird friend. Okay, let's start with a long kind of oval shape right in that center spot of his eyes on his forehead. Now his little tail looks almost like a triangle, and his little head another oval. And if we want, we can add a little beak to our bird friend. And give our little bird some legs so he has a spot to stand. Will he have little feet? You can choose. All right, and our bird definitely needs an eye. Okay, I think our cats are going to be awesome. So from our book, you can see Paul Klee's cat and bird. So the next step will be to paint our cat and bird friend. Let's first, don't forget our name. Let's come right down here on this line. And if you don't have that space like I do, it's okay. Wiggle in your name somewhere on that bottom area. And you know what else we could do? We could add a little bit of pattern to our border. You know we have learned all kinds of lines. So what if we used our lines and made a really neat pattern for our border's edge here? So I'm using a curved line that wiggles up and down, and I could do that all the way around, or I could make this line the same down here, and I could change my mind for the sides. So let's do that and see what we want to do on the sides. Now remember, my artists, you will be painting in these areas. So we don't want something so small that it's really, really tough to paint in, okay? Now it's sometimes fun to use shapes. We could use repeating circles or repeating squares. When we have a pattern, it means that a line, a color, or a shape repeat. So I think that I want to do some circles. I love circles. Now I'm going to draw my circles a little bit big so that they touch my edges and leave a little space between, because I know I want to paint my circles one color and then that space outside of my circle another color. So I will add to my pattern like that. But you can decide to do whatever you want for your pattern border. And our Paul Klee inspired cats with bird friend are going to be awesome. You know what? I think I might want another little line in here for his eye. I think we forgot that. There we go. All right. Okay, I think we're ready for our next step. Super job, my artists.